and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a bit of a different video on my channel because it's not beauty related and it's not fashion. It's something completely different because I just wanted to talk to you about my experience, and obviously if you've clicked on this video then you already know what this is about because the title will be there. Obviously I've been away from YouTube for quite a while, and in that time I was learning to drive. This is my pass certificate, so I have passed my driving test. Sorry, I had to put like a nail file where my driver's number was because obviously you're not meant to show that. So yeah, but I received my pass certificate back in August. It was the 25th of August and my test time was 1:45 p.m. and I just basically wanted to kind of give you any tips, any advice, talk to you about what learning to drive was like for me. Anything that helped me along the way I want to share with you. So basically this is just all about driving. So I'm going to get started with basically the beginning. So I decided to learn to drive just to have some independence, just to be able to go where I wanted, not have to rely on anyone for lifts, just to kind of be able to do it for myself. So I started with an instructor and it was not going great, if I'm honest. I mean, this video is no shade whatsoever to the first instructor I had. It just didn't work out, and that is literally all it was. So basically I started with an instructor. He was really lovely, but I just felt like I wasn't getting anywhere with him, and whether that was his approach, obviously I suffer really badly with anxiety and that played a huge part of learning to drive. It kind of stopped me from progressing with him. I'd had quite a few hours of lessons and didn't really kind of get anywhere. I'm just reaching for my tea in my Zoella Cozy Vibes mug. Oh, it's a bit hot. Basically I was paying a lot of money. Obviously you know that driving lessons are expensive. That wasn't anything to do with, you know, the particular instructor I went with. They are kind of an average price, that is the price of them. But to be paying all that money and not getting anywhere with it, that was the thing that I kind of found quite hard. So basically what I done is I took a little break for a couple of months. Didn't drive at all, stopped going to the instructor I had to start with. Then I had like a little look online and was trying to find a female instructor within Norwich where I live, and then Mum said, oh well, you know, our neighbours, their friend used to be an instructor, maybe she's still doing it. So then we found her details and contacted her, and I had my first lesson with her, and I was just like, oh my god, like this is amazing. She literally made me feel like I can drive and I will be able to pass my test, all within one lesson. Within that lesson I just felt so much more happier about my driving. So I knew that that was the correct thing for me to do, was to change instructors, go with Nina, my driving instructor, who I went with, and you know, I was so much happier. So basically, long story short, I had lots and lots of lessons, good and bad. You know, I had good days with my driving and I had bad days where it just wouldn't go right. And there was a lot of ups and downs. And, you know, that was just the way it was, really. You know, I had to accept that I have anxiety, and that somebody who is confident and is comfortable and doesn't have anxiety may be able to just go out there and pass their test in like 3 months. And I knew that that wouldn't be me. I knew that that was an unrealistic expectation to think that I would be able to do that. So basically I just thought it will take as long as it takes, and that's it really. I didn't really give myself a goal. I kind of just said I'd like to be passed in the summer because I don't really want to be doing you know, tests in the horrible weather conditions in winter. So that was kind of my thinking. In terms of preparing myself for the test, I would say first of all, I done a mock test with my instructor. My first mock test went absolutely horribly wrong. I was so nervous, my anxiety was really kicking in, and basically it just didn't go well at all, and we ended up stopping it. We only done it for about 10 minutes, and then my instructor was like, this is not good for you, you know, you're not ready for this, we need to stop this, go back to normal lesson driving, and you'll start to feel a lot calmer. After that mock test, I was so upset. I thought, I'm never going to be able to drive, never going to be able to pass my test, this is pointless. All the negative thoughts went through my head because I couldn't do this mock test, and I thought, well, if I can't do the mock test, how am I going to be able to do a practical test? So we worked on kind of like my nerves and my confidence, trying to push myself, trying to make myself believe in me, basically, because that was a lot of it. I didn't believe in my ability, I didn't believe that I would be able to pass my test. So we worked a lot on that, building my confidence up, and my instructor was absolutely amazing at doing that. She was so lovely, and she really helped me so much. I need to take a little breath because I've just been talking like non-stop. So then we kind of worked on it for a good month or two, and then I had another mock test, and this one went a lot better. I done, you know, everything correctly that I was meant to do. She took me on a really hard route as well, to kind of like push me and to show me that this is kind of like the hardest that the test is going to be, kind of thing. I did get one major fail mark thing, and that was on the independent driving. I was coming up to a roundabout and I forgot the instructions, and I thought I was going straight over it at the roundabout, and actually she had told me to go left. So she actually used the indicator. She actually put my indicator onto the left, which then obviously was a fail because she had to intervene. So that's the only thing that I failed on for that, and I was really pleased with that, actually. I was like, you know, that was just a silly little error. I just forgot, and you know, on the test, if I don't know where I'm going, I will ask, because you are allowed to ask. Even though you kind of think you can't talk to them, you are allowed to say, you know, could you just repeat the directions that you've given me, and then they will repeat them all. Yeah, so I was quite happy with that. I was like, yep, that's fine, everything's fine. So I then got a test date booked in, and then we were kind of working towards the test date. Everything was fine, and then it was like a week before the test, I just had a wobble. I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm not going to be able to do this. I need to cancel this test immediately. You only have you have to cancel your test 5 days before it. So once it hit that 5 days, I was panicking like anything. I was like, oh my god, if I don't cancel this test today, then I'm going in for it, and I don't think I can. And my instructor was like, you're going in for this test, you are ready for this test, you need to believe in yourself, you'll be absolutely fine. So test day came, I was really nervous, really nervous. She picked me up for my hours lesson beforehand, and my hours lesson beforehand didn't really go to plan, which worried me so much. I couldn't do my reverse around the corner. I hate that manoeuvre anyway. I mean, that was never my strongest manoeuvre, even when I was learning, but I just couldn't do it at all on the lesson before my test. And I was like, oh my god, what if I get this manoeuvre on my test? Had my lesson. Then we had we were coming to the test centre, and where we live, it was the Red Arrows Day, so they were doing their flyover, and they literally flew over the test centre as I drove in, and it was the most amazing thing ever, because my instructor was like, Danielle, I've never seen this happen on a test at all. This has got to be a good sign. You know, no one has ever been given a flyover before their driving test. And it kind of gave me that little kind of, oh, you know, maybe I might be okay, maybe I can do this. And yeah, so I went out on the test and came back, and he said, I'm pleased to tell you that you've passed. The test was nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I actually found it so much easier not being with my instructor, if that makes sense. It was actually really, really good. I kind of just got into the zone and got on with it, and yeah, the manoeuvre that I got was great because I got parallel park, and I'm quite happy with that. So the two manoeuvres that I really liked, actually the two manoeuvres that I really liked and they were my favourite was the turn in the road and the parallel park. And then the other two manoeuvres, which is your reverse around the corner and your bay park. Bay park I was quite happy with. But the one that I really, really wanted was parallel park, so I was so happy that that was the manoeuvre that I got. It was really funny because he said to me, just pull up just after this corner, and I thought, oh no, because obviously pulling up just after the corner, I thought, right, he's going to now make me reverse around that corner. And then he said, and we're going to use the car in front, can you please parallel park? And I was like, yes I can. So that was really, really good. And the route that we went was really lovely. We went kind of just on like a country route. We didn't go really into too much traffic. The test just went perfectly. Like, honestly, if you've watched my kind of update video, then you'll know that I lost my nanny, and I genuinely believe, and I don't want to get upset, but I genuinely believe that she was there looking out for me that day, and she made sure everything went well and that I did pass my test. The next day after I passed, Mum opened the door for the back garden, and there was just a little white feather just laying on the step right outside our door, and she was like, that's definitely a sign from Nanny, that's your feather, and she's telling you well done. And I do believe that, you know, I'm like a super believer of signs from heaven and all things like that. The other thing that I didn't realise at the time was my instructor, after she came and dropped me back, she said, you had a little feather on your car. I was like, really? She said, yeah, the whole time you done your test, she said that feather did not leave the car. It kind of like stuck itself on like the windscreen. I was like, oh my god. She said, we didn't even have to say who that was from, do we? Because obviously she knew about what had happened. And I was just like, oh my god. I couldn't believe it. And you know, I genuinely believe that she was there helping me out that day. So let's go back to the test. I'm sorry that I went off on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster elsewhere, but so yeah, so everything just went perfectly and I passed my test. I'd done it and I'm so pleased. I've now been driving kind of just over 3 months. It'll be 4 months on Christmas Day actually, and you know, it's the most amazing thing ever. If you can learn how to drive, I definitely suggest you do. You've got it for life. It's the most amazing thing, just being able to just go out and have that independence and have that freedom. It opens up so many more opportunities, and you know, you can do so much more when you can drive. And I'd never ever be without my license now. I'm so glad that I done it. The main thing that you have to think about on your test is your observations. That is such a crucial thing. So you need to be checking all your mirrors. So your left mirror, your rear view mirror, your right mirror, and over your shoulder. So that is literally so important. If you miss one of the major observations out, then you will fail your test. I didn't check my left mirror very often, so I got 5 minors in that category, which was crazy, and they're minors that I really didn't need to have. So definitely check all your mirrors. Make sure that you're moving off safely. So again, observations, checking that it's safe, indicating to move off, so you're letting the cars know that you're about to move off from the position that you're in. So I will link down below a thing to the show me tell me questions, so you can have a little read through, because you do need to be reading them. I think there's about 20 questions and you will be asked 2. So definitely make sure you read them. The thing I wanted to just quickly talk about was the thing that I think helped me during my test. So obviously, as I've explained, I suffer really badly with anxiety, and I actually used these drops. So these are the Bash, don't know how to pronounce it, Rescue Remedy Comfort and Reassure drops. So this is what they look like, and basically what you do, they come in a little thing like this and a little dropper, and you basically just put a few drops on your tongue. What does it say? Put 4 drops into a drink of your choice, or put 4 drops on your tongue as often as required. Now what I done was I put a couple of drops in a drink and then drank that, and then my instructor said to me, if you put it actually underneath your tongue, it'll get into your blood kind of stream quicker, so therefore it will kind of work quicker. So that's what I done in the end. It must have worked because I passed my test. I was nowhere near as anxious as I have been on lessons, so I definitely kind of put this down to this. You can get this in Boots, that's where I got mine, Boots. I think it was about like £6-7, but genuinely so worth it. And the other thing that I just wanted to quickly mention as well is actually a YouTube channel. So while I was learning to drive and kind of like building up to the test, I would watch Learn to Drive Travis's videos. Now he's an instructor and he has his own YouTube channel, and he is so amazing. He has got so much knowledge. Everything you need to know will be there on that channel, and I watched his videos and it just calmed me down, it reassured me, it relaxed me, and you know, he's got everything on there. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link down below to his YouTube channel because he was amazing. The other thing I just wanted to say is, you know, try not to put too much pressure on yourself. The thing that I think worked well for me was that I told no one about my test. So the only people that actually knew was my driving instructor and my mum and dad, and that was it. I didn't tell any other family member, no friends, nobody knew, and I found that that was the best way to do it because I had less pressure. When you tell people when your test is and stuff, you get like the messages and you get the like the good luck today and things like that. That's all lovely, but to me and for me, it just added that pressure. So, and also if you did fail your test and you've then got people saying, oh, how did you get on, how did you get on, how did you do, did you pass, that's not a nice thing to have to go through, to have to say, oh no, I failed. So if you just keep it to yourself, then if you fail it, you don't have to tell anyone. You just book it in again and, you know, just get on with it basically. If you do fail your test, book it in straight away. Don't wait, because if you wait, number one, you'll be waiting a long while, and number two, you'll start getting the doubts in, you'll start feeling really nervous, thinking that you can't go through it again, and then you'll put off doing it basically. So definitely, if you do fail your test, then definitely book it in again. Make sure you practice. So, you know, make sure that if you need lessons, if you need a lot of lessons kind of running up to your test, then make sure you do have them. If obviously your instructor is free, make sure that you are having as many lessons as you can. Also make sure that you feel ready, in your ability, not necessarily your confidence, because obviously, as I have talked about, I never felt ready for my test, but at the same time I knew my ability was ready for the test, if that makes sense. I knew I'd learned everything I needed to learn. I knew that I could do everything to a really high standard, and my instructor was really happy with my ability to drive. So as long as you've got that, then I'd say just book your test in and work on your confidence. Now this one really helped me, and I know not everyone can do this, so this is just like if you can kind of thing. But the thing that I think really helped me as well is I actually went on my mum's insurance as a learner. So we used the Admiral learner's insurance, and you can do it for literally like 30 days. you basically put your dates in. So if you only need it for a month running up to your test, then you can do it like that. And it wasn't too expensive either. I think I paid about £50 for a month's insurance on the car, and it was invaluable because I could go out in the car. There was no curfew, no nothing. I could literally go out in the car with my mum, practice my driving, practice manoeuvres, you know, practice everything. And I think that really helped me, So yeah, if you can do that, then I would say definitely do. Or even if you just get yourself a little car kind of before you pass, so you can put yourself on learner's insurance on the car, and then you can go out in the car with a family member. The other thing I wanted to mention is I obviously took my test in August, and I was on the old test. So as of the 4th of December, they have changed the test a little bit. So they've took kind of manoeuvres out, put different ones in, increased the independent driving from 10 minutes to 20, and you've also got to drive with the sat nav now. Obviously I have no experience of the new driving test, so what I will do is if there's anything that I can link down below about the new driving test, then I will link that down below in the description box to kind of let you know. But this was just my kind of video on my experience of driving, of learning to drive, of getting my pass certificate. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and it was helpful in some way. If you did enjoy this video, then do please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. I don't normally do kind of videos about driving, but if it is something that you'd like to see more of on my channel, then I could always kind of incorporate them in. If you've got any questions about driving, then leave them down in the comments and I will make sure I answer them. I've got a really big DSLR camera, which I don't think I'd be able to put in the car, so it might mean having to get a vlog camera. So if you would like that, then do let me know in the comments. Happy driving! Good luck to anyone that has got a test coming up. You can do it, you've just got to believe in yourself. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye!